Everybody, welcome back. Cids Modded Life, episode 29 with me, Cid, and I'm just over here in the factory. I'm processing smoothstone, and I'm also just processing the ores that I picked up over the last couple of episodes. I'm doing them manually, with the exception of the two that I just chucked through here, just because I want the XP, basically. And this episode, we're going to build a dwarf, but it's going to be a big dwarf. That I know is an oxymoron, but it's going to be a giant dwarf statue. I've got a design which I have got from based on a design from Planet Minecraft, called Erebor Interior Dwarf Statue, and it's pretty good. Does the job. It's going to be modified heavily. Obviously, this is we're not going to have the full statue. He's going to be kind of recessed into the walls. And I've started with some basic. I got accosted by a spider on the way back. I started with some basic work over here at the mountainside. And I mean basic work. It is like really basic work, but it is literally this is the point where we're going to shear off the front of the mountain there and on the other side. I'm going to go up to there and start chopping it off, but before I do that, I just want to process all these ores up and see whether we can't get silk touch onto our pick. I would also like to ultimately get a fortune pick, but you know, beggars, choosers, and all that kind of stuff. As we'll get there. These things all take time. I don't really need that string or that. So yeah, I'm just going to process this stuff, get as much experience as I can. I've also made another bag, which is just a bag of storage, which is going to be, actually that probably should go in there as well. Anything else that is Britannia based? Probably. What we got in there, it should just be Britannia stuff, yeah. So that will go in there. This will become my Britannia bag. We'll have our chisels and bits bag, and we'll probably have a cyclic bag ultimately or something as we get more and more stuff going. So yeah, let me finish this off. Be back in a mo. Alright, well, didn't get as much experience as I would have liked, but then when do you ever get as much experience as you would like? Apparently there's a hostile mob here. There's also one up there. I don't know. It's obviously a microscopic mob. So we're going to start. I'm going to start off with the basics, and that's going to be cutting back this mountain to get two flat panels to work against for the statues. That in itself is going to be fairly tedious, so I'm not going to hover around doing that while we're here. We're going to need you, and we are going to basically come up. So not here, it's this one. So if I come up here and go all the way to the top of this, then we know we have, this is the flat panel. So there we go. Lots of dirt to take out, lots of stone to take out, lots of gravel to take out. So that's going to be fun. As I say, I'm not sure, you know, if that thing made a difference. That thing, it's very hard to tell, but it doesn't matter. This is fairly easy. It's just a bit of dog work, isn't it, really? A bit of that work that we all love when you're preparing an area. Now this is ironic that normally I'm the one who dislikes, in quotes, flattening an area and terraforming it. I should have brought some smooth stone with me as well. Damn it! I wonder whether I can get down here reasonably safely. I'm going to go and grab some smooth stone so I can. So if there's any minerals or there, Gravel, I want to replace. The dirt I want to replace on that as well. I want this to be a smooth, solid stone frontage, I think. Or do I? Let's have a look. Certainly, oh, I'm going to get stung. No, didn't. Amazing. Yeah, I think that this thing here needs to be stone with no dirt on it. So that needs to be replaced. The copper, any ores in the side of the mountain there will also need to be replaced. So I'm going to grab that. I'll bring that down flat against that side. I'll repeat it on the other side and fill in some holes. Do a little bit of preliminary planning work. Now I'm going to build the first statue. I'm going to build entirely out of cobble. Why cobble? Well, two reasons, but mainly I want to be able to distinguish it from the actual face of the hill. However, that doesn't mean that I don't want a couple of stacks of this on me. So we'll get rid of that, and I'll be on with that, and I will see you once I've got that done. Back in a bit. All right. Well, the first thing's cut. I've done a very, very rough. Well, rough. It's kind of finished platform. That's going to be the plinth that the statue is going to stand on. We're going to flood this area again, very much like we did over here. If we have to put a lock in, then we can do. That's not a problem. But I want to flood it up to that point, so this is kind of a bridge going over water with two dwarf statues in it. I'm working on the other side. I've almost run out of smooth. Well, I have run out of smooth stone actually, but that's getting there steadily. I'm going to go grab some smooth stone, get the plinth on the other side done. I'm not going to build both statues this episode because that might be just a little bit too much. What I'm going to do is get one done and then the plinths in place just so they're the same size. Those are, I think, 27, I think, off the top of my head. But anyway, that's the little ellipsoid shape I'm doing. I'll probably chisel the edges of those just to make them a little bit more things, and I may change that stone yet. But we're getting there. Back in a bit. All right. I've got two large plinths on flat slabs of mountainside. Yay! Go me. Right, so on with all of that, we have got a design for this dwarf, which is 1, 2, 3. Hang on, let me just go in and check this out. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. 9 and then 10, 11, 12, 13 wide. So let me get back to here, and what we shall do is we're going to pop down here and we're going to basically, we've got, right, how do I do this? We've got a 3 gap in the middle, one, so there either side, and then here is where his feet start, which are also 3 wide. And then he goes basically 2 more wide on the outside, which is, you know, this plinth is oversized for this, but that's the basic layout. And he's going to have a sword tip, which is going to come probably down here. We'll get that in a moment. He's going to be, yeah, he's going to be a dwarf with a sword. Interesting. Dwarves traditionally use sword in fantasy. I mean, axe in fantasy. You look at pretty much every archetypal dwarf in all fantasy and they use axes. Gimli, Bruno Battlehammer, all of the classic dwarves. Look at Lord of the Rings. The majority of those use swords. Balin, was it Balin? Oh, I can't. Yeah, anyway, let's not get into that. Right, so we got this going on. I need to just plot out what we're going to do with this dwarf's layout a little bit, so let me just plan that off camera because it's difficult bouncing between design on one monitor and another, and I'll be back in a mo. Alright, quick update. This is what it's starting to look like in shape. So you can get an idea that the dwarf, the arms kind of cross here and the sword comes down. So the dwarf's head is going to be around about there-ish, which I think is probably possibly a little bit too small. I don't know. It's not 100% out though. This is what is important to me now. However, I need to start looking at some materials for the trim of this thing, and what you've got here is this down there and then here and down here and all the way around there is the trim of the armor skirts. This is the foot and the boot, and then you'll have the armor coming up there. Now I need to go and grab some bits and pieces, but what I would like to do is use chisels and bits, and I'm going to keep it quite blocky. I'm not going to aim to get something as realistic as, you know, the edges of this going, because I think that's, for what I'm trying to do, it's going to be way too much. Remember, this is just the entrance to come here, you shut. So what I am thinking is we've got a fair amount of let's have a look at the chiseled stone for starters. So if we look at this, oops, no, okay, let me look at the usage of that and the chisel. So the chisel patterns are fairly ornate. Now if I were to take something like this and then inlay the pattern on the outside with just a little bit of gold, could look quite nice, I think. And we've got, in fact, what have we got even more of? I've got iron, I've got silver, I've got loads of. Let's just see what we can do with a silver block. Can we get something that actually looks more silvery than that? That's the first question. And the answer is probably not. I'm not enamored by any of those. Okay, fine. So let's have a look at something else that would look possibly quite nice. Well, we could try lapis. We got a fair amount of that, not a vast amount, but a fair amount. And lapis actually has a very ornate texture anyway, but if we were to take, say, raw lapis and put that in there, and I'm not going to take a lot of it, I'll just take a little for now. Now let's have a look at the gold just before we write that off. Oops, because gold has got a huge amount. Now gold actually might be a better one, but none of those. I'm looking at these kind of metal textures. Now that one maybe that, maybe. If I were to take that, because gold, I actually have got more gold than lapis, and lapis actually has probably more uses than gold. So let me put you away. I'm going to take a couple more blocks of gold with me. 1, 2, in fact 3, why not? And let's start, as we mean to go on, with those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and grab my chisels and bits bag. I've got that. I probably need a new chisel actually as well. Let me just sort that out as well, just so I've got one. Stick. Come here. And I don't think anybody is naive enough to believe that this is going to be done this episode. This is a huge build. It's going to make this factory look quite trivial, or at least that's the plan. I need more smooth stone before I go running off after that. Give me some. Do 3 of those. That will do. Now the question is, do I use smooth stone? Because also we can, if we look at the use of that and chisel it, there is the same pattern in cobble. And the smooth stone I've got another use for elsewhere as well, so I might try the cobble actually. Yeah, I think we will. Let's go and have a look, see how this goes. And I'll build this statue up until we've got, I'll take it as far as I can this episode, and then we'll continue on the following episode, and between episodes I can probably duplicate these across using the old patterns design thing. So if I were to take, let's go and grab a little bit of that. In fact, do the lot, doesn't matter. And if I were to take you and replace it with that, and then that and that one go and get replaced, and this for now. But although that is obviously a stair, so we need to think carefully about that. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this one, and I'm going to go into single bit mode, and I think we're going to just come, let's do this one. It's a shame there's not a sideways on view, but there you go. Now, if I were to take one of these and basically shear that into chunks, hang on, have I not got bum? Right, we need a bit bag, and we need to grab that. And that, yeah, you'll have to excuse that zombie is very frustrated. Connected material there and there. I think we need a little bit more than that, don't you? Yeah, I think we do. So I think we probably need to go and, well, let's take it out. Oh, let's take it out bit by bit, shall we? Let's go here. Can't see what I'm doing very easily down here. Let me just hop up a little bit on some temporary scaffolding. So if we were to come down like that and then come back in like this, and then maybe, it's hard to see where that's going. That kind of goes, I suspect that's going back on itself over here. Let's go with that, and we'll see how that looks when we place it in. Now I'm going to have to repeat this on the other side as well, so no such look there, I'm afraid. Is that right? No, I don't think that is. Hang on. We're going in like that. Definitely got that going in here. And this is going all the way out, isn't it? Yeah, like that. I basically need to mirror this design completely. So if I were to come down here and go out and then up and then up like that, then in and then like that, and then change that to connected material and do that and that. How does that look? I like that. That looks good. So then we need to get, let's get the blocks back for starters, because we've got an abundance of those, and get rid of, I'll keep one of those for in fact no, we've got dirt. We'll get rid of you and you temporarily, and we will bring out the chisels and bits bag and grab you, and then we shall go and copy that and place it there. Perfect. I like the look of that. That looks okay. And obviously we're going to do stuff down here as well. So Yeah, let me just sleep, quickly get the night off. I'm going to continue on round just getting this design into this statue, and I shall be right back with you. Alright, I'm making progress. It is steady progress. Mainly because of the fiddliness of this, and then each one of these needs to be different. However, this cobble here, and then the cobble that comes up to the belt, which is about there, that needs to be chainmail. And there is this chiseled stone, which I think will absolutely shine in this roll. I do need to get up there, however. I was using this, and I got endermited, so you know, I killed it, because that's what you do, isn't it? With endermites, you kill them. But I thought this would be absolutely amazing as chainmail. Let's go and just see how this goes. It's going to take a bit more building, of course, on my part. Well, quite a lot more building on my part, actually. But that should give us an idea of what we're looking at. Oh, yeah. I like that. Now, I've recessed, by the way, back into the wall as well. So we will be taking this in as part of the design. The idea is to pull it back into the mountainside a little bit. So, yeah. That is... Oh, I like that. I like that chisel design. That really works. Right, I have a lot of work to do. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, it's getting dark. I'm not sure actually how long I've been recording. Probably about 21 minutes. But we've got, so far, I've got this. So we've got a little bit longer to go. This is now, obviously, towards the belt level. I'm going to put some hidden lighting in there as well. And I'm probably going to try and layer a layer of chisels and bits of whatever block they are on the top to make those blocks non-spawnable. Let me just borrow this. At least we can sleep on a one block with this thing, which is pretty good. So yeah, this is starting to really get some detail. I've done the boots. They are now pretty much complete. Let me eat, and then now, as I say, we've got to do the belt level, and then the arms come across there, and the sword will meet up there. Now the sword we'll probably do last. I'm certainly going to stylize that a little bit more, but yeah, I am happy enough with this as a design. For the time being, I've just hidden a little bit of lighting back here. I don't know exactly how I'm going to light it yet. Oh, pardon me, but and I've fallen off. Great, but that's starting to look somewhat like what I'm after. I think my chisels and bits bag is probably very heavily snided out with bits of... Actually, that's all right. That's not a major issue. So I'm going to continue on now, try and get the next layer up, and I'll be back in a little while. All right, it's going to be a slightly shorter episode than usual today, just because this is actually a huge build, and this has already taken me more hours than I care to consider. I've also run out of smooth stone, which, you know, is going to put a crimp on things. But that's the belt. So we've got over here, the beards are going to come down. They've got another 3, the shoulders kind of come out over here. So, yeah, we're getting there. We'll get the, hopefully the head and the arms and everything in next episode, as well as the sword. I really do pray that that is not something that has just spawned in. It is, isn't it? That is a zombie that just spawned inside a chisels and bits block. Again, this happened. This is how, I don't know why. This is bizarre. Yeah, well, he's there. He's actually spawned in that block. That is weird. It's solid enough for him to spawn on, but not so solid that he doesn't spawn in it. That is really, really bizarre. Really bizarre. And I'll bet... Oh, I can't hit him. But really, how? How did he... Bees. How did he spawn in that? It beggars belief. It really does. That's going to be a major problem going forward if this doesn't get updated with a fix for that before long. Anyway, we are getting there. We've got the shape coming on. If mobs spawn in it, we'll just have to live with it until a fix comes along. I don't know what's causing it. My thoughts were that it was a combination of architecture craft and chisels and bits, because the only time I'd seen it happening is when you'd got blocks on top of the window frames, and as it skeleton horsey, hello. Oh, hello. I want you. How do I capture him then? Right, hang on. Don't go anywhere. I would like to capture that. I don't know whether we can or not. Let me just switch back out to bed. Sleep the night off quick. I have got a saddle for them, so let me just do an insert there. Go into my bag. I've got a crafted saddle. That was from my attempts earlier at oh, hostile. Alright. You are a bad skeleton horse. Bad. Naughty. Naughty. Skeleton horsey. He's actually quite tough and all. Alright, oh well. Wasn't to be, we'll have to make our own. It is possible, by the way. Anyway, with that random aside over with, I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to probably continue this on next episode, but I'm happy with the progress we've made there. That's, as I say, several hours worth of chiseling and work and everything, and would have been considerably easier in creative, but of course we don't have that, so but when we got two of these guys and the either side, and obviously I need to fill in that gap there, then the world should be good and happy, I hope. So until then, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon, and bye for now.